Flip it, rip it, trip it.
I'm glad no one heard that.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, guys?
Can you hear
Should
us
be
now?
good now. Yeah, we got full mic bar support here. I forgot we switched mics for this because it works better than having this stretched across my face so they can hear you on
Darreck
it.
just wants his pretty face on the camera. We could really use the other camera, but y'all don't really see Darreck. He posts up like 8 things a day. Y'all get tired of watching his face.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Definitely.
All right, yeah.
All right.
So shout out to the chat box right quick. Cowboys X Factor. What up, homie? How you doing?
First one in the chat.
Yeah, Rangers King.
Yep.
Max, how you doing, sir?
Gleh.
Glad, the one and only. That's the.
No, Max heard flip it, rip it. I'm gonna have to live with that.
Flip it, trip it. What'd you say? Skip it.
Flip it, rip it, trip it.
Flip it, rip it.
I think it's some old ass Kid Rock lyrics.
Something like that.
Something.
That's good. We go put that in a
trip
shirt.
It, rip it like a real. Yeah, that'll be the new catchphrase. That'll be the new merch.
I was thinking about. I was like, dude, we need to come up with like sayings just so we can start putting on shirts.
I was thinking that too.
So.
One, I was thinking, but I was kind of thinking this might wait until we were like in season and actually doing real in-depth analysis of stuff like that.
Okay.
Would be something like hire my ass, like saying like we're the experts at this, we know this so well, they might as well just hire my ass or something like that. That would be the idea. And then like fake billboard graphics where it like looks like we bought a billboard in Dallas that has the thing up as well.
Yeah, stick it to the man.
Yeah.
Stick it to the national.
Stick it to the man and then ask him to hire us.
Yeah. All right. So how's everyone doing? Y'all can hear us, I'm sure, because you heard the flip it, rip it, trip it, skip it.
Yes.
Come on, kids, let's gather around. You remember that commercial? The skip it commercial?
Skip it. Why are we
Come
on
on,
skip
kids,
it?
because of your freaking
you
rap.
I did not say skip it.
I know,
there,
but it rhymes. Bro.
You just continued the rhyme.
Come
That's
on,
your
kids,
own problem.
let's gather around. We got a new thing coming down, and the very best thing of all, there's a counter on this ball. So skip it. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So let's talk Mavs, baby.
Yes, here we are. We are.
Delay.
Yeah, I did it again. But it's fun. They don't have to know that I did it wrong on Facebook.
Yeah,
all that means is they didn't hear rip it, flip it. I just did it again.
Look at the next superstar, though. But DSJ left.
All right, so.
Man, where's the love for this? As soon as we drafted Luka, everyone was like, who? Dennis who?
Well,
whatever.
I mean, from an athletic standpoint, there's no doubt Dennis Smith is a much better athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Luka has a lot of potential, but I think I think he makes the team better. I think he's a very good piece, and I think he can be a star.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think Dennis has superstar potential, though. That's how I view it. I view both as very good, but one to me has a higher ceiling, at least with regard to being able to be like an all-star and all of that. Thunder Dunker Dennis Smith Jr. will open some eyes this year. That's the mentality. Can't catch him.
Hopefully, it'll be more than just a Thunder Dunker, though. Hopefully, he's a Thunder Dunker. Skip it, rip it. I don't know, but doing a lot more.
Trying to get that catchphrase over, aren't you?
I want to throw that in there. But hopefully, he'll be able to make some teardrops and threes at a better clip and jump shots and stop and pops or stuff like that, just so we have a more dynamic offensive game, and hopefully we'll be a lot better on defense as well.
Julian Smith really wants me to talk more wrestling, doesn't he? Tell you what, Julian, I'll find some time this week to do another piece of wrestling content, probably a recorded video. I don't think I have an audience of wrestling fans for me to do a live stream for that. But we'll keep an eye on it.
I don't know a lot about wrestling, but I know all these guys he's listed though. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think he's a fellow UNT alum. So
yeah,
there you go.
Denton. Yep.
Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, of course. He's everywhere.
Oh, he's setting up
Sting. Wow. The Undertaker, Sting versus the what? Are you? John Cena.
Yeah, you definitely know the blowout John Cena, Mike.
Yep. To me, as the not so knowledgeable wrestling person, I think John Cena has the best intro music.
He's definitely beat it to death. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Hulk Hogan was pretty good. I am a real love.
I was actually given to a mid-card tag team before him, but they ended up leaving. So then they're like, well, we got this great music. Let's just make him super patriotic now. That's basically how that works. But
that's funny.
Anywho, back on to Dennis Smith.
Yes.
So I'm curious what your thinking is regarding his progression, his how he develops coming into this year. Now that he's got a whole year under his belt, do you think he can kind of take that next step and be even more of a factor for the Mavericks?
Well, I think so. The thing I was most excited about is him having the whole offseason. He's not transitioning from college to the league. He already went through his rookie year, so he already knows what kind of to expect. So nothing's going to be a surprise for him. So he knows what to work on to get to be basically take his game to the next level. And we all saw, anyone who watched the Mavericks basically all this year is, he needs to be more efficient offensively. He needs to be more well-rounded offensively. He needs to be more than dunking and occasionally hitting a three, which he's working with Stephen Curry's trainer.
Yep.
The guy, I still don't know the guy's name. You should probably have a name.
Probably should, but
or we're just gonna call him Stephen Curry's trainer.
That's all I need. I'm pretty sure that's what his wife calls him at this point. So.
How you doing, Stephen Curry's trainer? Anyway,
Mrs. Stephen Curry's trainer.
Mrs. Stephen Curry's trainer. That's funny. But yeah, if he works on his game and let's say he shot 31% from the three.
Yeah, that's what he shot
nothing
last year.
Major. Let's say increases to maybe 34 or 35%. I'm not really worried about his 3-point shot because I've seen a ton of players come into this league with not the best 3-point shot, but end up not leaving, but as they're
developing it.
Yeah, developing. We've seen how many centers have we not even seen take a three at the beginning of the year? Now they're shooting 40+. So we can definitely see players increasing the 3-point percentage. I'm more interested in him developing the mid-range game. Because I don't think there's a player in the league aside from the best perimeter defenders like your Klay Thompsons, like your who else? Klay Thompson, like your Kawhi Leonards, who are able to stay in front of him.
Yeah,
he has that type of burst. But the problem is once he had that burst, once he drove into the lane, pretty much it was either he's going to go all the way to the lane or pass the ball out. So you saw a lot of people rotating, and they'll rotate hard to, I'm going to stand right in front of the basket and block his shot because that was all he did. Hence, that was why he was the number one
blocked guard at the rim.
Yeah,
was how I phrased it in my video.
And so to be honest too, James Harden was number 3, but.
True.
But I'm definitely excited about him. I know he's not the shiny new toy anymore because we got Luka Doncic now. So everyone kind of thrown him by the wayside.
Sure, that's what happens.
Yeah, but I still.
If you want to share to the Mavs Nation thing, you're in that group. I'm not in it, so you'll have to be the one to do it. But I shared it to a couple of the other ones as well. So
I'll get to that.
In the video that I posted, what was it? I can't remember. It was a couple days ago, where I talked about. Well, first I showed the highlight dunk where he, alley-oop, 2-hand slam, and is literally
his whole head was above the rim.
Yeah, his at least resting his nose on the rim. It seems like. That was insane too. But the thing I featured in the video was I'm more interested in his continued growth and the development he's showing. And what Stephen Curry's trainer actually had to say about him. Specifically, I think the 3 phrases off the top of my head were hyper-competitive, all-star potential, and a, quote, unseeable ceiling. Those were the 3 things that really jumped out to me because I looked at it before. I'm like, hey, the dunks are awesome, but we already knew he could dunk. We knew last year he had a 48-inch vertical,
I think that vertical went up, too.
It might have. But we already knew his vertical was ridiculous. We already knew he had one of the highest verticals. I actually think now it's tied for the highest vertical in NBA history. But because we knew that, it changed the perception. Like, we're like, okay, yeah, he can give us highlight dunks. Those are great. Don't get me wrong. But to take this team to that next level, especially if he's going to be your best player, which right now he will be, you have to be able to do more than that. You have to be able to score, and you have to have an in-between game. You have to have a long-range game, something more balanced. And I pointed to that his efficiency numbers weren't that great last year. Nope. His averages were good, 15, I think 3.8 boards and like 5.2 assists. That was in less than 30 minutes of action a night.
Yep.
So his numbers were pretty good, but the thing that I think contributed to, I should say, what you pointed out, him being the most blocked guard at the rim, is that he didn't really have a lot of reliable guys he could kick the ball out to. Like, the defense collapsed onto him, even with him having a 48-inch vertical, just because they're not worried about who he kicks it out to for three in that case. Now, late in the year, that changed with McDermott and all that, obviously. But for a lot of the year... R.I.P. He's not dead.
But dead to me now.
Dead to you, okay. But for a lot of the year, he just didn't have that resource available to him. And above all, he didn't have a guy he could really drop it off to under the rim. We didn't have a big that could make a difference. Now that you have DeAndre Jordan, you have, I don't want to call it Lob City, because that feels so played out at this point. Yeah. And Lob City was him and Blake. You only got half of the equation. So
Dwight Powell
Powell can do a little bit. Yeah, he got the oop off the backboard last year from Dennis. That looked sweet.
It looked really good.
But that also goes to just how good of a playmaker Dennis can be as well. So now you imagine with DeAndre Jordan being the guy who's exploding to the rim or something like that in a pick and roll or whatever, and it's just a whole new dimension that I think will help him avoid being as contested at the rim as he was last year. That and just a better understanding of when to attack, when to do a floater or pull up or something like that will help. And just the added scoring help around him, whether it be Luka or whoever else.
Harrison Barnes hopefully can continue to improve, even though he's getting up there towards...
He's 27. He should be right now hitting his peak.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. If he can still improve, he should... Because if his peak was, 19 points a game, he's not worth that contract. Although I'm saying, he's not worth that.
And that's why I don't think realistically he should be with the Mavericks past this season, past this contract, is because I think he is what he is, and that's, like I said, they view him like the Michael Finley to Luka and Dennis's Dirk and Nash. That's great. I have no problem with that. Except for the contract. Yeah. The contract is not a Finley contract, but he's being paid as if he is the guy, and he's ideally the third guy. So
the fourth guy if you count DeAndre.
Yeah, so that's not a good option there. So let's hit some of these comments here. So we already called out Glenn, Ranger King, Cowboy X Factor.
Can't catch him. How you doing?
We talked about that Thunder Dunker. Yep. Julian Smith talking wrestling. Watched all his highlights when he was a junior, then senior in high school. He can make almost all the shots. Definitely get any shot he wants. He's talking about Dennis, I take it. Yeah, I mean, it's just he has to be more efficient.
And we saw
part of that is the game slowing down too.
Yeah, too. One of the reasons why I was so hype on him too, if you remember, 2 years ago when we were going through the whole draft process in 2017. I was really high on him because I saw him score from all three levels. Yeah. He was able to hit the three. He was able to hit from the mid-range, and he was also able to, destroy people and put them on posters and stuff like that. Yep. So he has that skeleton. We just need to put some meat on it. So instead of when you're driving, the only option you have when you drive in is going all the way, putting up a layup or a dunk. Well, we need to sprinkle in some. Hey, maybe you can put in a floater or stuff like that, because they don't just keep the defense on his heels, and you basically do what the defense is giving you. Yeah. So if they're going to try to take away the layup, I mean, just stop and pop, go right over their head. I think Skin and Follow, they call it the Monster Killer or something like that, the Giant Killer.
Killer.
Yeah, I love it too, because I mean that's what it is. That's what
Tony Parker in his heyday murdered people with that.
I mean, for people like me and who are not the tallest people in the world trying to go amongst the Giants, that's basically our best weapon. We're not gonna. I mean, he has the athletic ability to try to put people on posters. The only problem with that too is he doesn't have the biggest hands. He cannot grip the ball, so he's probably not going to try he's not going to put people on very many posters.
Interesting.
Yeah, just in case anyone who didn't know that. There's that.
I mean, I wasn't aware of that, but I never. That's something I didn't think to even, I guess, doubt or consider. Just because he's such like some of the dunks he does, like in the dunk contest, you would just assume like, oh well, he can grip the ball any way he needs to.
Nah, he just
cradles it kind of.
He kind of cradles it too, and that if you want to dunk on someone, especially when you have all these contact dunks, you're gonna be bumped around. You're gonna need to be able to maintain possession of that ball. And if he has, small hands, he's gonna probably lose handle of that ball. Probably go to the line a lot too. I mean, that might help him draw some fouls. I mean that's what Adam Proctor said. He's a scorer. Period. Not period. He can do more than that. But he is more of a scorer type. Hence why a lot more people are high on Doncic, because Doncic can be the playmaker when you don't need to necessarily focus on Dennis Smith having to be the playmaker / scorer. You can just kind of be a scorer primarily, super scorer, and then use his scoring ability to also be a playmaker as well.
Right.
And where Luka can just come straight out the back and just be playmaker, get everyone involved and stuff like that.
Okay. Isaiah Hunt living my best life. That's how you do it. I mean, if your best life is watching our show, then yes, that is how you do it.
I agree. Isaiah Hunt, make sure Baron
Inject
Davis.
that shit straight into my veins.
Make sure Baron Davis and Derrick Rose. Okay, so the whole Derrick Rose thing. I watched a video of Derrick Rose back in his heyday.
Okay.
And
that was explosion for days.
Okay, but here's the thing. I watched it and I had a sense of relief that Dennis Smith will not have, hopefully won't have the type of career that Derrick Rose had.
Okay.
If you look at Derrick Rose,
say it with your chest.
If you look with Derrick Rose, how Derrick Rose played back in the day, I felt like everything he did was explosive. Even just running down the court.
Yeah.
Was explosive. Like every time the ball switched hands.
But it was also a little more graceful than like Russell Westbrook.
No.
Derrick Rose versus...
I think Russell Westbrook is more graceful than Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is just straight power.
Maybe I need to revisit
but
that.
At the same time, though, Russell Westbrook, he didn't need to be. He had Kevin Durant. He had James Harden. He didn't necessarily. Derrick Rose really didn't have much of anybody else except for Derrick Rose. So he was explosive. You saw him.
Boozer, Joakim Noah, Luol Deng.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he had a decent squad.
He had a decent squad.
Don't hate.
It wasn't Kevin Durant or James Harden.
Sure.
And Nick Collison.
But no one else could. Yeah, Nick Collison. That was the difference maker. No one else could make that argument though.
And what's his name? Andrew or something. Weaver. I remember Weaver on that team. But anyway, but if you saw him, he was just, everything was explosive. Everything was when he dunked, it was just. Oh man,
ferocity.
Just do yourself a favor. Look at his highlights on YouTube. Just type it in, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just everything is just ferocious. Like even basic things, just like dribbling up the court and crossing over. Just, everything just had so much explosion to it.
Burst.
And it's just Dennis doesn't have it. Dennis just I have that really quick first step.
He's got the gear.
Yeah, I have the really quick first step. And then I have the ability to jump high. And everyone says he needs to learn his landing mechanics. Okay. We know.
I did have
Stop
that
talking about that. Yeah.
I did have that feeling because there were some times where he crashed to the ground and I was like, protect yourself.
Yeah. He would come in dunk hard and land on one leg.
Yeah.
Falling backwards.
And then miss a game or two because of a knee contusion or something. And you're like, okay.
I understand that. But it wasn't knowing what you know, go back and look at Derrick Rose's highlights, and you'll be like,
you'll understand why his knee exploded.
Yeah, somewhere down the line, his knee could not. He couldn't handle that. So hopefully,
interesting.
Yeah. So just going on that. So hopefully, Dennis won't have the type of career that Derrick Rose had, just based on that. Dennis is definitely a lot more smoother, a lot more graceful than Derrick Rose.
Can catch him as an interesting point on the blocked thing. Everyone knew he was a leaper coming in, so no one wanted to be on a rookie's poster. Like, he's basically pointing out Draymond Green body checking him and saying, not here.
Yeah. Saying Summer League. I remember him saying that too.
Yeah.
But I remember him kind of dunking on Draymond Green later on in the season.
Yeah, and Draymond, I believe his extended quote was, never dunking on me.
Yeah.
And then he got him later in the season, so... Deza Garcia just came here from Facebook Phantom page.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we're on Phantom. You should probably check that, dude.
Let me touch base with Phantom.
But anyway, so
I'll do that on my phone. Actually, I don't want to strain the computer to mess up our stream feed.
Very excited about what Dennis can bring in. So we had that quote from that was Stephen Curry's trainer, who said unseeable ceiling, super competitor. Now we had an article that came out on Bleacher Report. When was that? Earlier today, or
I think it was like yesterday, talking about, and that was really what inspired this stream topic in particular.
So it was by Zach Buckley. Came out today actually, or this morning, so September 2nd.
Okay.
September 2nd, right? Yep. And it was NBA players who could break out in a big way next season, and it had 5 players. One of them being John Collins from the Atlanta, Lauri Markkanen, I guess Jamal Murray from the Nuggets, and the fourth one, Miles Turner. But the one we're talking about because we are Mavs. Dennis Smith.
Yeah.
Now, what he was going on the last month of the season last year, where Dennis really turned up. And his numbers just in March were 18 points a game on 42.6% field goal, 37% three. So if he
ended the season strong, that's for sure.
So if he definitely goes on from that, we're definitely seeing him improving a lot this season.
Yeah.
And just another NBA player, Will Barton, he said he has a tight hand on the ball. He can pass. He has a jump shot. He's real tough to guard. He's going to be real special in the NBA. So he already has the respect, Will Barton. Who's also
Dennis had the respect even before he started fleshing out the game, really.
That is true. He was a big YouTube star.
The second...
Not on Zion Williamson level, but he was.
Sure. But like the second that the Knicks passed on him, I mean, you had LeBron... and them immediately saying, like, oh, they're going to regret that was a mistake. And then everyone who came through to Dallas, Wade's first time, well, I guess it was him and LeBron still in Cleveland together at the time before Wade went back to Miami.
That was weird.
Kicked to the curb. I'm still a little bitter on 06, and the thing I'm working on has just brought those feelings back. Going through the tape has not made me in the best of moods. But... so like LeBron and Wade coming through, and they're saying the same thing, like, man, New York messed up, and this kid's gonna be special. And you see all these guys taking time out of their, after the game, before the game, whatever, to go talk to Dennis and all that, and they're hyping him up when talking to the media. So
which is good. That's very good for Mavs fans.
Absolutely. That could definitely.
I guess the combination of Dennis Smith already having the respect of players around the league, and Luka having a lot of respect from
the international
players and stuff like that can play very well for the Mavericks somewhere down the line. Deza Garcia just asked how's Luka been looking in this offseason.
We haven't really got a chance to see a whole lot other than he has slimmed down a little bit.
He has slimmed down.
I've seen some recent photos.
I haven't really seen him doing any drills or anything like that.
Yeah.
All the things I've been seeing of him is lifting weights or doing cardio, stuff like that. But he did he did work out with Kobe, along with some other players. If I can remember some, it was Kuzma was one of them. Frank Ntilikina was another one of them. That's pretty much all I can remember. He did work out with Kobe. He posted a picture on Instagram.
Yep, I saw that.
Mamba mentality.
Yep, that blew up.
Yeah,
I remember seeing as well.
And everyone, I think it was he working with Steph Curry's trainer too? Because I saw a picture of him and Steph.
Perhaps, yeah.
I mean, he's working with all the right people.
Yeah.
So that's very encouraging. Nothing has been put out on tape yet. Which is that a new thing? Players putting their workout stuff. I guess
I think it's just this day and age of social media. Everyone wants to show how Dirk was poking fun at it last year. Everyone showing like their like unique workout training stuff. LeBron was doing it, and Dirk's riding like a bike or something.
He's riding a bike and he's like, "This is my workout video."
Yeah,
that's funny. I guess it is a new thing.
Yeah, it's just the day and age of it. It's just a new era. Everyone's so plugged into social media for that they want you to know how hard they're working at all times.
And of course, everyone's trying to build their brand as well. So.
Sure.
So we're seeing a whole bunch of that from a lot of players. Ray Spalding has put out a couple. Well, I'm not sure if it was Ray Spalding himself putting it, but I know a couple guys have been tweeting out a couple videos of his workouts and stuff. He looks really good. He's hitting threes. He's hitting threes at a high level. Of course, no one's guarding him, but he's hitting it. And he's doing rebounding drills, and I think he like jumps and taps. You probably did this back in your day, where you jump with the ball and tap the backboard, ball with the backboard, or the backboard with the ball, and then you put it up and then get the rebound.
Swing that giant backboard at the ball, spike it.
There you go. He was doing that. I mean, hey, those workouts where you don't, to the untrained eye, it doesn't really, no one really knows how that's going to benefit you, but it does get you excited for what he's capable of doing. Have you guys seen? Yeah, we saw. I was about to put that up. Isaiah Hunt, DeAndre working on his mid-range game. with Sasha Vujacic, which I told
it's
Derek,
not a bad thing to add.
I told Derek this before we started doing the live stream, but if you put any NBA player, and put him with just him in the basket, they're going to make everything. So what DeAndre's putting out there, I guess hopefully it's impressive. But once you put him in a real game situation, and hopefully he'll be able to, hopefully that workout he's doing with Sasha Vujacic can translate to the game. But, you were seeing stuff from Nerlens Noel. He's hitting
Nerlens
fadeaways and stuff like. If you put any NBA player, just them against the basket, they're gonna look good.
Sure.
So
Rangers King is saying he thinks that was with Steph at P3, talking about Luka in that case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think
don't
that's
know what P3 is.
Was that Steph Curry's camp or something, or performance center type thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have a ton of events and stuff in the off season.
But good context.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do we miss anything above that as well? I think we jumped down further. B-Rob is saying he reminds me of Damian Lillard from an efficiency standpoint early in his career.
Man, if he can get,
that's not a bad comp, and if he can reach that level, that'd be awesome.
Cold-blooded like Damian Lillard, I would love that, because, bruh, Damian Lillard to me is one of top 3 clutchest players in the league. Like, if I was down 2 with 3 seconds left to go in the game, I had any player to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't argue with Damian Lillard. I wouldn't. I've seen him do it too much.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. It used to be Dirk, but not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, I used to argue hard. I'd be like, back in college, I was like, down by 1. You have 2 seconds left to go in the game. Who you giving the ball to? And everyone's saying Melo, and I'm like, screw that, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Give the ball to freaking Dirk, because all you got to do is give it to him to block. You don't need to set up anything.
Did you see JJ Barea filming Dirk throwing it down? Dirk saying he filmed that in slow motion. No, I don't think so. That was the slowest, most lumbering crossover and then dunk I've ever seen.
You're talking about the video and the...
Pretty sure he had a step stool out to get to the rim. He didn't even jump. He had that much time.
Oh man, it's good. It's good, really good.
Yeah.
How do you think D Jordan's gonna look this year with DSJ? Is it a good combo?
I think it's a very good combo. I think DeAndre Jordan will be better this year than he was last year. He averaged 12.5 points, basically 15 boards.
Yep.
Last year, I think he'll be better, just because I think he's going to get a lot around the rim, a lot of good, easy looks that were kind of lacking a little bit more last year, because obviously you have Chris Paul gone, you have Blake Griffin leaving, and so it's just not the same.
He didn't have another player that commanded the attention,
right?
Like a Chris Paul, like Blake Griffin did.
Yep. So now he's got Dennis Smith and Luka to work with. I think his numbers will go up. That's not to say, by the way, oh, he's going to be like 18 a game. No, he'll be something in the area of like 13 and a half.
Maybe.
Probably.
Probably in 14.
14's possible. But boards, I mean, that's Dallas's greatest weakness. So he should have every opportunity at every rebound.
If he doesn't average like 16 boards a game.
He'll have, I'm predicting, okay, here's a good over-under. And we should do a list of these before the season starts.
We will.
Make note of it, and we're going to have some kind of bet payoff at the end of the season for it.
Cool.
And it's like going to take like the overall. So if we make 8 predictions, whoever gets the most out of those 8, or we'll do an odd number so we don't tie.
Okay.
Well, whoever gets the most right doesn't have to do the punishment or whatever.
Cool.
But one of them, a good one, would be like over or under for DeAndre Jordan 2020 games this year.
Ooh.
See, I came to play. I'm bringing the real questions.
The over under, we'll set this at how many 2020 games will he have this year? Set it at 12.1. 12.5.
12.1 2020 games?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Interesting. That's a very high bar on that.
I think he's going to have. Okay. Here's the reason why. Okay. So there's a lot of factors on why I think DeAndre Jordan's going to be a lot better than he was last year. Of course, we just noticed when he didn't have players like Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
Yep.
So he was basically the guy for his team. So a lot more attention was placed on him. Okay. So now he's in Dallas. One, he's going to be a lot more engaged. I honestly think he was not engaged last year. We saw a guy put up 12 points a game, 15 rebounds a game, and he was like not enjoying himself. And he's the type of guy, like we said in our last week, he's not the type of guy that you'll get his best if he's not enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah, no, he's not going to ride and die that way.
So he will be a lot more engaged this year.
Okay.
He's playing with a better coach. Rick Carlisle is a better coach than Doc Rivers.
Yes, no doubt.
Okay,
no one's questioning that.
But also, Rick Carlisle tends to get a lot out of his big men.
He also has a tendency to butt heads with some of his guys, too, if they don't get with the program.
Yeah, that's true. But he also gets a lot out of his big men. We saw it from Dwight Powell. We saw it from freaking Zaza when he was here. He was damn near
All-Star.
An All-Star.
That was because of the fan voting from Zaza's home country.
But it's not like he was playing bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he was doing well.
Even when...
Don't you dare say Samuel Dallenberg.
Okay, hold on. First of all, he wasn't that bad when he was here. But even though he had a very small stint here, I'm about to pull a name that you probably never thought you were going to hear in your life ever again.
Curry.
Eddie Curry.
See, that's how that's how on the same page we are.
Even when he was playing here, though, he actually didn't play bad.
Oh
we beat the Lakers without Dirk, with Eddie Curry and
that was a bad Laker team.
I don't care. that was the first game of the season, and they had Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant.
Yep. I know.
We were not supposed to win that game. The only guys we had was freaking O.J. Mayo and Darren Collison. That was it.
Yeah.
So
for the record on that, no, we did not discuss that name beforehand.
No, we did.
We just were that on the same page.
I was actually pretty impressed. You said Curry. I was like, God, in my head, I'm like, damn, you really got it. Anyway, so he tends to get a lot out of his big men. And then he will have a better, even though who's the guy, the European player in the Clippers, who's a really good passer.
Yeah, something like that.
He's a good playmaker, but he doesn't have the athletic ability that Doncic has.
Sure.
So if you mix in the playmaking ability and the athletic ability that Doncic has over wherever that guy's name is, I don't know his name. He's not important. That
just
plays
Dragon
well.
Ball Z, you can call him Spopovich.
Spopovich, anyway. Yeah, so that plays well for DeAndre. Of course, Dennis Smith, being as athletic as he is in a pick and roll, that plays well for DeAndre. And of course, we tend to throw this guy aside, even though he is a good player, but he just doesn't move the needle for any Mavs fans right now. Harrison Barnes is also would be a good guy to do.
Right.
Play alongside with. Right. Because him being on the corner, you're going to have to respect him.
Yeah, it gives you spacing.
Yeah, so all that's going to play well for DeAndre. I do see his productivity going up this year. I do see him having more fun this year because everyone's saying Mavs might be, the next Lob City, whatever. But, Stop.
Rangers King actually had he actually answered what the P3 was. Okay, the sports science program focusing on how to move more efficiently, aka jumping, sliding, running, along with the workout program as well. I'm sure there's more in that than I. That's already a lot of insight on that, so good clarification.
There you go.
There you go, Spopovich. That is such a niche audience who might know what I'm talking about.
It might as well be Spopovich.
Thank you, Roscoe Dash and Rangers King, for the clarification on that. I'm still gonna call him Spopovich.
Dez Garcia, we're not talking about that. My family's put on a barbecue, and that topic's
gonna come up for you anyway.
Yeah.
I take the guy that's undefeated in the finals personally. I'm not going to dig into it too far, but I am going to say, here's what I boil down to. Okay. From a physical specimen and athlete perspective, LeBron. From a basically wanting like that dude who's just like a cold-blooded killer and nearly unstoppable, Michael Jordan.
There you go.
That's how I boil it down. Because LeBron, I think, is more Magic Johnson than Kobe, and Kobe's more Dirk than LeBron. Or sorry, not Dirk. I said Dirk because I was talking GOATs. It just came into my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Then Kobe is more MJ than LeBron, is what I was trying to say.
You are correct with that. I'm not going to weigh in on
Kobe's never been called Dirk, probably.
I mean, they have been in the same conversations. So. Team LeBron, there you go.
There you go. There's not really a wrong answer, except for the one that's not mine.
Here's what I'll say about that. Here's what I want to say about that. I think for the first time in our lifetimes, it can finally be debatable. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
It used to not be, but now it can be.
Yep. Can catch them.
There you go. Can catch them. See, we're debatable right yeah. Officially.
We are debating.
But anyway, so what else we got? Oh, I want to bring up this thing because it's been bothering me all week. So. If you guys didn't know, if any of you guys are into video games and stuff like this, NBA 2K19 comes out, I think, sometime later on this month. I think the 11th, right? And the overalls for the starting lineups of all 30 teams were leaked. I posted a picture on this. I don't know if I can post it. If you go to the prospect page, you can get that picture on there. It's not on there yet, but I can definitely get that later on.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I had Doncic as a 79, which came out earlier, like a month ago or something like that.
Yep.
And it had Dennis Smith as a 78.
Yeah, I didn't get Dennis Smith's rating in that. I thought it was strange. I expected him to be like an 82.
I didn't expect him to be an 82. I expected him to be either on par with Doncic or overall better. Only because he's been in the league. You
have more of a certainty of what he is.
Yeah, and of course
I've been the NBA standard.
Yeah, and for me, I've been around the 2K game since its inception in 1999. I've owned every single NBA 2K
since it was 1K.
Since it was NBA 2K. Having Allen Iverson on the front cover up until 2K5 that had Ben Wallace. Anyway, but. It kind of bothered me, and not necessarily because of the overall. Is because there's a couple of guys who are also sophomore players in the league who had a way better overall than Dennis Smith. And that guy is, of course, Donovan Mitchell, who has an 87 overall. Yeah. Jason Tatum, who has an 87 overall. Mm-hmm. And Ben Simmons, who has an 87 overall. What I'm not saying is Dennis Smith had a season on par to what they had. But those three guys who I just said didn't have 9 overall points better than Dennis Smith.
I think that's fair to say.
9 points. No.
Rangers King says it's because of his passing.
That's when you're 9 overall points better.
That and he's a point guard.
It's not just because of that thing.
What's Rick Carlisle's rating?
2K is underrated Rick Carlisle, by the way, because they're dumb because whatever.
I agree.
I love Jason Tatum too. I'm not saying that, but him beating 87 when first of all, he was in a great system.
Mm-hmm.
he didn't have a lot of responsibility, so he didn't have the pressure of, of leading a team like Dennis Smith did. But do yourself this, right? I want you to go to NBA 2K and go on. If you click on some updated rosters that some people have moved up their overalls to, 87 and stuff like that. This is what I want you to do. I want you to bring their rating down to what Dennis Smith is as a 78. And that's not easy to do. The amount of points you will need to move down to get from an 87 to a 78 is a ton of attribute points that you need to move down.
Yeah.
Dennis Smith is not that much worse than Donovan Mitchell. He's not that much worse than Jason Tatum. He didn't do that much worse than Ben Simmons. Not that much. Not 9 freaking overall points much.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. 2K, you need to change yourself. You need to check yourself. He's going to be a 92 next year. Watch. I freaking hope so. At least an 80 something. You know what I mean? And like I'm saying, I'm not even mad at the overall from Dennis.
DeAndre Jordan's presence will help those passing stats when he's throwing up 47 extra alley-oops in the first 12 games.
Exactly. So like I'm not even saying that Jason Tatum actually this is exactly what I'm saying. He shouldn't be an 87. He hasn't really proved much except for he had one good year. Mm-hmm. But we're going off of what he did last year. It still shouldn't be an 87. I would at least give him an 84.
Okay.
And that's not. Dirk was higher than an 87. What?
I think he's Roscoe was saying they put Mitchell higher than Dirk has ever been rated.
No. Dirk has been. Dirk
has been like a 94 at least that I've seen before. Yeah. So I think that's probably about the highest he ever was.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
Dirk has been in the 90s.
All love here, guys. All on the same team. I always stress that when people start seeing blood in the water or something like, hey,
we need to play 2K.
Yeah. The only time I somewhat encourage that is if another team's troll just wants to come in here and blowing up the stream or something like that. In which case, that's why we need more moderators. If you guys are interested in moderating for us, I think all you have to have is like a YouTube channel, and then just like hit us up if you're strong P1 so to speak of this of our stream, and you're in here all the time. Then we'll make you moderator, and you can kind of help us keep control of the chat if ever that happens, if we need that. So
so if I'm let's say I'm working for 2K. And they said I need an overall rating for Jason Tatum. I would say 84 or 85. 84 to 85.
Yeah.
That's not harsh. He did put up a hell of a good season last year. I'm thinking about it more closer to 84. He did have a great playoff run last year. Donovan Mitchell, same. I'll probably put him 84, maybe 85 because he actually was leading his team. You want to make me okay, cool.
Yeah, Ranger King, I can make you a mod. I think I tried looking it up before and I couldn't find like your channel. I don't know if it's just your profile, but I think you have to have like a channel created for me to do that, because I did look it up how to try and do that like a week ago, and I was able to make someone else a moderator, but you didn't come up for some reason when I tried.
Anyway, so yeah, Dennis, I'll say Dennis Smith should be 79, 80 range. They didn't get him too wrong, I still think, because he ended last year as a 77, so making him a 78 makes sense. Even though he started out last year as a 76. You saw Harrison Barnes was an 82. That got a lot of commotion when I posted it on the Mavs Nation page on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate. 82, 83 maybe. He didn't really show a lot. If you're supposed to be the guy on your team, you're 26 years old, and you're only putting up 19 points a game, I think you need to do a little bit more than 19 points. If you're supposed to be the man with a max contract.
How many mods can I have? I don't know if there is a limit on that.
We have a freaking squad.
Yeah, man.
Freaking coalition.
Yeah, we'll have that.
Play a role.
And your mission will be to moderate the comments for if ever we have trolls pour in here. That will happen eventually as we grow too. You've seen like what's happened with like Law's page at times. Law Nation. Mark Holmes dealt with that as well. I mean, those were Cowboys side, and Cowboys always get more hate than Mavericks, but all the same, it will happen. I mean, there will be people, because I also talk Cowboys, there will be people who squat on the channel just to, blow up everything in the chat at times. So it'll be good for that, and if you guys are moderators, you can help spread the word as well of the channel and share it places and all that. So it works well. Another good point I saw up there talking about Dennis Smith, possibly what hurt him is he was a 39% field goal average last year. So,
okay,
so not efficient and not as highlighted of a passer, and at a point guard that probably has a little more weight to it.
We can look up their stats for the other guys, and I guarantee they're not going to be that much greater that will call for a 9-point better overall than Dennis Smith. I'm not necessarily mad at Dennis Smith's rating, even though I thought it should have been 79,
I
80.
feel like I'm sensing it, though. You're like, I'm not mad, but inside I'm fury.
No, it's like, how are you saying that he's 9 points worse than Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum?
I'll never squat on your channel. I thought of that as I said it. I was like, that's going to be taken out of context.
That's funny. But yeah, like, he's not 9 points worse than.
No, I agree. I agree with you there.
Yeah, so they need to change them. I
think Dennis will change that perception this year. Again, he's going to have more help than he had by a long shot last year. And it would have been better with Seth Curry. You have yours. You can't let go fully, and I have mine.
I actually like Steph Curry, bro. I'm not Steph. Seth.
Yeah. If I'd had like what I wanted to do in that video I posted when I did the whole like demon voice fire rage. Did you watch the video?
Probably.
The one earlier this week where I talked about Dennis Smith dunking. It's one of those things where I'm talking about his improvement, and I like go into. And it would have been better if he had kept Seth Curry. And it's like flames around me red.
I was mad. Those are the two signings that I saw on my phone, and I damn near wanted to throw my phone.
I wanted to edit it where I had like actual flames in my eyes.
Who did he sign with? Oh, Blazers.
Blazers for a really cheap deal.
And I'm like, why Blazers? Do you like Blazers? Blazers don't get it. Blazers, this is what you need to do. You need to take that money. Give us Seth back. Get that money and find yourself a freaking wing. You need a wing that can score, because you don't need another freaking 6'3" guard on your team that's really only good for offense. You already have two of that. You have two high levels of that.
Yeah.
You need a change of pace. Yeah. So what we can do, give us
Seth back.
Give us Seth back. We'll take the money. You don't have to pay him. Keep that money. And go find yourself a guard. Nick Young is still out there. Effing sign him. Do that. Get yourself David Nwamba or something. I don't know. But give us back Seth.
Seth averaged 18 points in February, March 2017.
Seth was that dude.
That's the stuff I was talking about. When I was talking about why I was so mad that we lost him.
If Seth came off the bench this year, he will be in the running for 6-man league.
Oh, I absolutely think so. And I thought it was.
He has a chance to do that too.
Now this is again not to start up our debate on McDermott, but I never thought, once I heard the market, what it was looking like for him, I never thought that's who Dallas should hang on to. I did, however, think that. Seth was the no-brainer to keep,
especially with that contract. The two contracts, hell yeah. But I wasn't necessarily okay. So if you told me we had to sign back,
there you go, Ranger King. I anoint you, Christen.
All right, there you go. But if you told me we had to sign back Doug McDermott with that deal, was it 3 years? It's $22 million. I would have been
fully guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Would have been very hesitant. As much as I liked him, would have been
more than $7 million a year, fully guaranteed. That gave me pause. I was like, they lost him. But then I saw what the total was in the contract. I was like, okay, I'm fine with it, because
I would have been hesitant, but you probably would have.
I probably still would have done that.
But
I view it as it's a nice to have. He's good to have, but you have to have a realistic price, and I feel like his deal being fully guaranteed was part of what pushed me away from it. If I thought we were close, if we were close, like if we thought that we were a contender, then I'm like, yeah, just do it. It's a good weapon to have. But for where we are,
you're right.
I don't know.
That's a good point. because we're still rebuilding. That he's definitely the type of guy that you will want to add on to your championship game
power. Here's a dated ass reference. He-Man. I have the power.
Yeah, exactly. You're old like that. Anyway,
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah. So I mean, I'll have pause.
If you had a channel on here, I'd unanoint you right now.
Definitely hear what you just said. I definitely would think a little bit harder about that. But Seth, with that contract, like, give me that contract right now. Like, I would love to have Seth back.
The dots are so far away from their name.
Yeah.
Am I on the same row? Hold on.
You should probably, yeah, there you go.
There we go. I'm going to scrunch this up. You guys aren't going to notice this, but... Okay, wait.
Uh-oh.
Son of a bitch.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
There
There you
wait,
go.
Wait.
That's kind of weird.
Wait.
That's
Uh-oh.
kinda weird.
Okay.
Anyway.
Glad is a good, strong P1 of this show.
Yeah.
And any stream I do, he is always there to at least drop in. So.
Yeah, we appreciate
yes,
you.
If you guys are interested in being moderators, let me know. And like I said, if you're someone who's in here all the time, always checking it out, and I do roll call every show, so I will know. And we'll definitely give you the moderator bump if you want.
Yep.
And then your name shows in blue, as you see with Ranger King 669.
Because he has the power.
Yep. And he's got a little wrench next to his name.
What else do you need to talk about?
Well, we covered Dennis Smith, what we think is going to help him take that next step.
Yep.
We talked about specifically what DeAndre Jordan brings to it. We could try and just come up with some of those prediction stuff now, but I'm hesitant to do it now because we're not even to training camp.
Yeah.
So
we need to see a little bit how we're.
Yeah.
Just how they. I mean, just how they look.
I love the idea.
We're not going to get real rotation.
Sure. I love the idea of it. It's just a matter of getting it sorted out in time. Let me actually pull up Gless thing because I just realized there we go. Glad like that.
Any free agents we can pick up before the season. We still have our $4.4 million exemption, but there's literally no one out there. Nick Young, we don't want him on the team. He's not a good player to have for a rebuilding team.
You are barely tickling that mic with your vocals right
now. My bad. I'm in
just over here. Just
my bad. Yeah. So we still, like I said, we still have our $4.4 million exception. Nick Young is still out there. I don't want him on the team.
Didn't he just get arrested too?
You're thinking of Rico Gathers.
He just got arrested. I don't know any details of it. I'm not trying to project anything of right and wrong. Again, I have no idea circumstances. I recall seeing that he got arrested recently.
I think.
And if he is like Rico, he'll still make the team.
Anyway, that's pretty funny. Oh, okay. And Jamal Crawford is still out there. He's really old.
What about Jordan Crawford too?
Jordan Crawford is still out there.
Those two.
He's
catch
older
my
than
attention.
He's older than we think. He's in his 30s.
We don't have roster space at the moment, but there's certainly guys that we can move around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, 25 people in this chat right now.
There you go.
Actually, that's from the thing earlier. It might even be up higher than that. Or the same.
Or the same. It's probably less.
I'll show him. People just start heading to the exit. Luka at the 4. Hey. That's a new face. Itiro Rivers. What's up, man? I think Luka will play some 4 this year. As Rangers King will tell you, Carlisle talked about that before the draft, even the possibility of playing him some at the 4. That might be where he likes him best for small ball lineups.
Yes, I was going to say.
No, not best. I've said 3 the whole time, but I think for small ball, you will definitely see him run 4.
Yeah,
and he's a point forward.
I was gonna like, no. Where I see there's some dude from the Ringer, forgot his name, but he actually lives here in Dallas.
Okay.
I remember he was talking about Doncic, and I heard him say he was a 4, and I damn near crashed my car. I was like, what are you saying? He is not a 4. No, he's a guard. He's a guard that's just big, that has He has playmaking ability. Just because he's 6'8" doesn't necessarily
6'9", I think, right?
Well, he's listed as 6'8". Some people say 6'7". Some people say 6'9".
It's hard to
say. He's listed as 6'8".
It's hard to say because heights are the most ridiculous thing in pro sports.
That's what I'm saying.
Or college. I mean,
yeah. When we say 6'8", I go by what he's listed as. He's listed as 6'8", and just because he's listed as 6'8" doesn't mean he has to play forward.
Sure.
He's actually, when he got drafted,
like they tell me JJ Barea is 6 foot. I'm pretty sure I've seen like a first grader his height.
Yeah, no, his son is as big as his son. Anyway, Jonathan Sharks. Yeah, there you go. I remember I heard him on a podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, Luka can play forward." And I was just like, "What? No,
small ball."
Yeah, very niche role as a four. Very niche. Not gonna see more than 10 minutes from him on the floor as a four. He's a 2, 2-3 primarily. Those are kind of interchangeable. Especially with someone like Doncic, you can throw him in, you can put him at 3, and make no difference on how he plays.
You guys
at the
play
3 or the 4.
You guys play Xbox or PS4? My squad needs a center. I'm trying to figure out how those two go together.
Who said that?
Isaiah Hunt. Under shots fired.
Oh, you guys? No,
he plays PS4.
I play PS4, but I don't have a.
We're gonna see about trying to set something up in the future here where we do where we basically play 2K with you guys. In which case, Enyi will play and I will commentate and talk all kinds of trash to him, and he'll play with you guys. Is what we'll figure out. We'll figure out a way to do that. And what I want to do is put like a green screen kind of like behind us. Obviously, there's one here. If I'm not breaking the fourth wall too much. But have it set up higher, and I'll adjust the camera height or something like that, or whatever, where you'll see it, and you'll see like behind us or over our head, whatever, the actual game that we're playing, and I'll be sitting over here with like an actual microphone and just talking all kinds of trash.
And we can talk Mavs while we're doing that. While I'm whipping your butt. I have to use the Mavs though. That's the one stipulation.
Okay.
You can use like 2003 Mavs or 2011 Mavs. I'm gonna use current Mavs.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do. But yeah, so Luka, I mean, he can and he won't play.
Luka at center. He's joking.
Luka can. He won't play the 4 often, dude. Like, you guys don't understand. Four is not what it used to be. Okay.
It's going small ball though. The direction it's heading works more to his point.
What do you play my team? No, I don't play my team. Do y'all have Earl Thomas news?
Do I have Earl Thomas news? I have no Earl Thomas news at this time. As of yet. But as soon as that happens, I will go live. I didn't go live, but I posted the Dan Bailey thing even though I wasn't even home.
That's because I was hounding you too, bro.
No, I was already trying to get on the call with Law or James or someone, and they just weren't going live at the time. They were like out and about, and so I was like...
I was hounding him too.
I was like, okay, well, I'm not home, so I can't go live, but I literally found, like, a laptop, installed OBS. I think all I did was throw the little mic graphic up there, the logo up in the corner, and I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And so I did, like, it wasn't live, but it was like a 7.5 minute video talking on it.
The brow. Luckily for him, the brow is going to be playing center this year. Or unless they put Julius Randle at the center.
No, Randall's only like 6'9". He's like Luka's height anyway.
But yeah, I mean, Luka's not that.
My back hurt. I'm going to the doctor.
Oh man. So I mean, he's not super strong though. He's strong for a guard. He's not strong for a wing. I
want the Mavs to win every game, obviously, but I'm torn. I don't want to give up our first round pick next year, top 5, one more year. Then I don't care what they. Yeah, I think the Mavericks probably should have gone the way of not saying, hey, we're going to go tank, but saying, hey, we'll approach this kind of like we did last year where we'll try, but we're not going to overly try if it doesn't go well. Like, the first 20 games are brutal. They could easily start, something like 6-14 or something this year. I could see that happening. And if that happens, you got to make up your mind really quick if you're wanting that top 5 next year, if you're still wanting to take a crack at it. Now, the odds do improve slightly this year in the draft. It's a little more balanced out now, and they did that to try and limit tanking. But the thing is now, it has the opposite effect. But the thing is now with how they're doing it is it's not avoiding tanking. Maybe like balls out tanking going for the top pick.
Like 76
but
level.
If you're picked, if you're the third worst record, you have equal odds to get the number 1 pick now. Mm-hmm. So all it's doing is it's shifting the group. It's increasing the number overall, and it's shifting the group from like 3 or 4 teams here to up to like 6, 7, 8 teams here, trying to tank to get into that 3, 4, 5 range. So I don't think it's a better solution, but it does improve the odds for the Mavericks. I'm going to be pissed if they get like the 6th pick. If we miss playoffs and they get 6, meaning they get nothing.
That'll be a bad slap in the face.
I will be upset with that. The only thing that would make that the only thing that would help that would be if, even if we don't meet the playoffs and even if we lose that pick, if Dennis Smith and Luka Doncic, particularly Luka obviously because of the trade, tears it up, balls out, and suddenly our future looks extremely bright. If that happens, then I'm like, oh, I hate losing that pick, especially how we did. Yeah. But at least we have this and we feel good about this.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, too, the trade was smart because, that draft next year is going to be super top heavy anyway. Any player worth picking, it's going to be in the top 5 anyway. Yeah. So, shoot. It is a weird situation that we're in because, yes, we're still rebuilding. And in my opinion, I was saying before that we should still keep, if there was a way to keep that first round pick, that we get that first round pick and then continue to try to lose still so we can add more young talent to this team. But if it was to get a guy like Luka Doncic, obviously, okay, fine. You go get him and lose a pick. The worst thing in the world would not be to lose every game and end up being a top 5 pick. Basically what Darreck just said, that is the worst situation, is to be the 6th pick. Meaning something has to go wrong. Because this Mavericks team is not... We're looking at...
Over-unders 34.5 wins.
Yeah.
I have 36 as my prediction right now.
In terms of draft...
47 with Seth Curry. No, I'm
kidding. Yeah. He made that much of a difference.
Just wait until you see the end of the year. The win shares.
But in terms of the draft, if the Mavs still had their draft, I would say they'll probably be picking at 12 to 14 next year.
Like Dennis's point there. Dennis Van.
Rijswijk. Dennis said something.
Rijswijk.
Are there even players we're tanking for in the top 5?
Next year's draft doesn't look like a super deep one by any means, and that's part of why the Mavericks made the deal. If you recall, they nixed the deal that would have, instead of adding in the first round pick for next year. It's every show, man. But instead of giving up our first next year, it would have given us 3 for 5, and we would have sent Wes Matthews for Kent Bazemore. Now they get paid the same money, but Wes is expiring this year. Kent had 2 more years. Has 2 more years. So that was part of why they didn't do that. They liked Wes, and they didn't want to take on that money, so they nixed that deal, and then they instead said, you know what, here, take our first next year, top 5 protected, because in part they don't feel that great about this next draft class. That's not to say there aren't players, but it's not as deep, and I think that, and they're tired of losing. They're like, we haven't made the playoffs in 3 years.
Mark Cuban is definitely he's
2016 was the last time they made the playoffs, and they got beaten 5 games.
But Mark Cuban is definitely one of the guys. He loves winning. He's not very good. I mean, he didn't really necessarily.
He wasn't even rebuilding until this summer, until like December, in which case he botched saying it. Yeah. And so it nearly messed things up because then we had to try extra hard.
Mark Cuban hasn't even been around as
18 years so far.
He hasn't been around for a Mavs rebuild, really.
No, because he had Dirk. He got Dirk on the very, very front end of his thing. Because Dirk came in, his debut was in '99. He was 98 draft at lockout, so 99 was his first season.
And Cuban
got it was 2000 to 2001 season.
So that would have been like the only
Dirk was like
year.
A second year player going.
So that would have been like the only bad year. Then 2002 came. That was when we went to our first playoff in a long time. Yep. And then 2003. Boom, and then you know everything from there. Yep. So Cuban has seen nothing but success, basically, owning the Mavs. Yep. So it's gonna be hard for him to go through another rebuild. Carlisle himself too. He got drafted in '84 to the championship-winning. I'm not sure if he won the championship that year, but to a championship-winning organization in the Celtics. He stopped playing to be a coach. and has been successful.
Took the Pistons to the East Finals one year. You got the Pacers to the East Finals another year.
Yeah, he's seen nothing but success.
Yep.
Coaching. It's going to be hard for those two
Malice
people.
In the Palace.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for those two big cogs in whatever machine makes the Mavs go to accept losing for a long period
honestly,
of time.
I'm kind of surprised Carlisle is still here.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
Because we've had a good stretch now post-title where it's been pretty clear we weren't that good. And when he re-upped this last time, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that keeps hope a little bit open for us. But
and to be brutally honest, Carlisle is not the type of coach you want.
Don't make him unsubscribe.
Carlisle is not the type of coach you want if you're serious about doing a multi-year rebuild.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's not. Because you're going to want to play young guys and experience a lot of losing. And Rick Carlisle is the type of dude that you can have freaking OJ Mayo as your starting 2 and Darren Collison's your starting 1, and you are going, 500 that year they won? That team
that was 42, yeah.
That team shouldn't have been that.
No.
That team was definitely a lot worse than it.
Yep.
And, Carlisle was the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. The other part of Dennis's question up there that I liked as well is the mention of free agency, because we are going to have stupid cash available to us next summer.
We're going to have stupid cash available too.
Yeah, but we're going to have like literally 3 or 4 guys under contract. We're going to have $70+ million minimum to play with.
Okay.
That's an ton of money, and if Luka shows that he is that dude, and Dennis Smith can take that next step,
actually,
with Dennis Smith's already gravity around the league as far as respect, do you not think they could get a couple?
That's actually a really good point. So honestly, just hearing that, it kind of made me change my mind a little bit. Whatever. Kind of changed my mind a little bit about the whole trade. So I mean, I still want to add young talent.
Sure.
But because we have guys like Dennis Smith, who has a lot of respect around the league. We have Luka Doncic, who is widely respected for international players. Like, he had guys complimenting him before he was stepped foot in the draft. People were already hyping him up. So, come summer 2019, we have all this money. For the first time ever, since free agency has become really a cool thing to even go through, because until LeBron James made that move, no one necessarily really cared about free agency.
Yeah.
Really. But LeBron James made a move.
I mean,
completely shifted the power of the whole league.
Well, the Mavericks have also been the worst in Cuban's tenure by a mile.
Oh, yeah.
The worst drafting franchise in the NBA. And that's there's actual data on that shows like the average number of games played by draft picks. And like from 2000 until now, and the Mavericks were like...
Well, if you draft guys like Maurice Ager, that's good.
Or Shane Larkin instead of Greek Freak.
I tried to go back even further.
I would have kept Kelly Olynyk before I did Shane Larkin.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, yes. And it was like the average number for the Mavericks was like 525.
But he did that.
And then the next team on the list was like 978.
But
like it was that drastic.
He did that to put himself in better position to go after Dwight Howard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He did that when free agency was cool. I'm talking about like before free agency was cool. The kind of moves he was making.
You're saying Mark Cuban was into free agency before it was cool?
No.
Trying to make him a hipster?
No one wasn't. No one was into free agency before it was cool. Up until we had the decision, no one really thought free agency was anything. I mean, we knew that players made moves, but you
not
add in
mega stars.
Yeah. You add in.
I've always been excited about free agency.
I really never knew anything. But I forgot. We've been going off on so many tangents. I'm losing my train of thought.
Just Dennis, please.
What?
I kept botching his name, so he asked me to just say Dennis. My bad. I was trying. I was trying, man.
All right, Dennis. Well, that's going to get mixed up with Dennis Smith. Anyway, Bull, John Tay versus free agents.
I had it with Van Rishwick.
No, probably not. But yeah, so now that we have, all this money, all those guys.
Heard chatter about Nash joining Big Three. Nash's back can't hold up to anything.
Nah.
There's no way. Nash literally threw his back out his last year in the league, picking up his luggage at the airport.
Yeah, that's actually how he.
That was what caused his retirement. So I don't see Nash playing Big Three. Unless you're going to have him stand out at the 4-point line and just spot up.
I'll do it. I'll pick him up. Well, that's what he's going to do. What?
I was skimming through the comments.
No, but I think, we have a good shot. We're going to be in a lot better position to get better players. Because, like I've been saying, unfortunately, players are not that smart when it comes to personnel stuff. So when you see a guy like Dirk Nowitzki, literally for a lot of star players that didn't really move the needle on a lot of them for some reason. I really don't know. And weirdly enough, I think Dennis Smith and Luka Doncic will move the needle a lot more than Dirk Nowitzki will. So people will be a lot more open in coming to Dallas, playing with Dennis Smith and Luka. And if DeAndre decides to stay on, or if we decide to keep DeAndre, honestly, because we're not going to, whatever. Whoever has a better year. If he has a bad year, we'll have the power if we want to keep him. If he doesn't have that great of a year, or if he has a good year, then he has the power to see where he wants to go. But yeah, we're in a better position than ever before.
Yeah,
to get better players in free agency. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to say for like the last 10 minutes. But
my bad. The way I say his name makes sense in English. Oh, the IJ makes
The hell?
So it'd be like Riseweek. I'm just gonna make this worse. So
do us a favor, type just
phonetically speaking.
Just cure our curiosity. Type it out phonetically.
He probably did, and I just still botched it. But let's see. Tommy Brown. Who do you guys think we should trade for? If that's just a general thing, that's hard to identify because we don't have a specific.
Depending on.
Okay, let me throw you a hypothetical. If we do a Wes Matthews deal, who do you what do you look for? Dun 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 dun.
It depends. I mean, if we can try to get Jimmy, because that's basically he's the only player that's disgruntled
Jimmy
right
Butler.
now. So that's the only reason.
I got it.
What?
Perfect, spot on. He says. I said it perfect last time. Riseweek. Wait, I said Riseweek and then I said Riseweek.
Oh crap.
Riseweek.
Still tap it out phonetically.
I keep getting distracted because like I try to get everyone's name right and it seems like most of the time someone's like, "Wow, you said my name right," and I'm like, "Yes."
Floor spacer and perimeter defender. Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. And he was also if he's following up with what he was saying earlier, he also mentioned Spalding maybe. Yeah. I do like Spalding a lot. I think he has a lot of potential. I think he's a little bit raw. Yep.
He's a little bit raw. He's a little bit raw and a little bit skinny, so he needs to eat a couple of steaks. He's only like 6'10", 215, and he's gonna be playing the 4. You're gonna need like a lot more weight. A little
bit of bulk,
yeah.
I think he's got a lot of potential for him, though. I think he is. I think he's a steal of the draft for us, honestly. Getting him at 56 when there's only 60 picks, hell yeah.
I'm actually really excited about him. I'm actually might go check out some Legends games if he's playing.
I would love Jimmy. You don't think he would cause any problems, though, do you? He's a bit of a head case.
No, he's a head case because he.
I think he's Tyson Chandler head case.
Yeah, which is if the team's not trying.
Yeah, that's why he wouldn't re-sign with a max deal with Minnesota because he felt like the team didn't practice as hard as they should. He was frustrated with the work ethic of guys like Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns and things like that. Because he part of what made Minnesota a good fit for him was supposed to be Thibodeau, his former coach in Chicago. And with Chicago, the only reason that didn't work out was because they were going to have to rebuild. And he's like, I don't want to stay around for that. I'm in my prime now. So they moved him, and it seemed like a good fit, but the overall culture of the team just isn't quite right. I think he's like a Tyson Chandler in that regard. If you put him with the right team, and I think Dallas would be a very, very, very good fit for him, I'm way more excited about him, the potential of him coming to Dallas, than I am Wiggins. I really am. Like, Wiggins, if Wiggins didn't have the ridiculous price tag already, I might be kind of intrigued, thinking he's young. He's still a little raw, but he can do something. And with Rick, I have more faith in him reaching that. But because he already has that price tag, I'm like, no, if I'm spending that money anyway, just give me Jimmy.
Yeah, you're right. And Rangers King, Wes Matthews, Dwight Powell for Chris Middleton. Yeah,
I'd do it.
Same thing. Yeah. Floor splicer, perimeter defender.
I mean, if you're getting Jimmy, you're giving those two up anyway. So it's basically And
if he doesn't stay, we probably weren't going to sign him back anyway.
I think Jimmy is a unique situation though, because now I've heard mention that Middleton could be available as well, but at the same time, I think that Jimmy's situation is unique because it's not going to work out in Minnesota, and they're going to do. People have learned. Don't hang on to your guy until the end of the year unless you are convinced you can win a title right then, because you'll get nothing in return. And so because of that, OKC made that mistake, but they thought they could win, and they probably should have, frankly. But it is what it is. You got to know. In Minnesota, they're not there yet. They were an 8 seed last year.
Well, 47 wins. God.
But they lost. Yeah, but they also were missing Jimmy for a fair stretch there too. He missed like 20-something games. With a leg or something, like a knee, something like that. It was like a fracture, but he came back and he was still solid for them. I would say his situation is unique enough that would be the kill I go for. Yeah,
he's friends with DeAndre. Both of them from Texas, even though he's from the Houston area. But Houston's, give him all the stars. But, he's from Dallas. So, if we can use DeAndre to get him here, we might have to keep DeAndre as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I want, right? You want DeAndre. That's why I said when they got DeAndre, I didn't want to give him like a 4 or 5 year deal. But I said even when it happened, I really wish they would have done a 2-year deal with a team option.
Yeah.
Because maybe they suggested that and he said no to it. I don't know. But at the same time, yeah, Rangers can is a good point. But at the same time, I do like the idea of if he can be a good fit to address our more glaring needs and then still be a helpful recruiting tool in that regard, that could be something. Ranger King makes a good point regarding Jimmy Butler as well. He wants to play with guys like LeBron or Kyrie. The most likely destination I've heard for him is the Knicks. Yeah. Him and Kyrie with the Knicks. And I could definitely see that. But, the Knicks might actually have some draw now between Porzingis and...
What's that guy's name? Knox.
I was thinking with an M. I was like, Mox? No. But yes, between Knox and Porzingis now, they've got some draw. So that could be it.
Yeah. Other players, we really don't know.
It's hard to say, but I would say those would be my focus. You never know, because look at what OKC with Paul George. It was a foregone conclusion he was going to LA. They acquired him and then said, all right, here you go, full year of recruiting, and it worked out. He didn't even take a meeting with LA in the end. Exactly. So if you got the talent to make him, to appeal to him, and you got a good environment, good future, it'll
That's
work.
The number one thing we need to show this year as a Maverick organization, that we have talent, that it can be appealing to people to come into. Since we don't have a first round draft pick, I'm not even projecting that we will have it by the end of the season. We need to let people know that this is a team that you can come on to and that we can win right now. We just need a little bit more talented people to get on. We have the coach, we have the organization, with Cuban and all of them on top who are willing to spend whatever kind of money that they're willing to spend to get players here. And then on top of that, we have young stars, potentially stars, then Luka and Dennis, and then you come in and you can be a part of the growth. You're not necessarily coming in to be a part of a rebuilding process. You're coming in to what's the word I'm looking for? Honestly, you be the one to...
You made it, Kent.
To be the one to take us over the top 2 playoff contenders. That's what I'm trying to
say.
Yeah. So that's the number one thing we need to necessarily focus on. Not necessarily be playoff contenders, because Minnesota wasn't in the playoffs before Jimmy Butler got there.
Yeah.
But because they had talent and they were showing that, Jimmy Butler was okay with them trading him to Minnesota. So that's kind of the next process we need to do. We don't necessarily need to be in the playoffs, but we need to at least show that we have talent and we have stuff that other players can work with.
Agreed. Yeah. Let's see. We'll take 5 more questions and then we've got to wrap up this episode.
I got a barbecue to go to, guys.
Yep. Let's try and hit this question here. Gabriel Fusta?
Where? Oh.
Highlighted.
How many teams have equal or more cap space in the Mavs next season? Man, that is a good question.
Equal or more, it might be. I mean, a lot of teams have a lot of money opening up, but equal to the Mavericks, I don't know, because right now the Mavericks have presumably 4 people under contract. Well, I mean, you're going to have these rookies they just signed too, obviously, with Brunson and Spalding and all that. But, like, as far as significant money guys, you're pretty much just looking at, and I say significant, you're still talking about rookie deals. Dennis, Luka, Harrison, and Powell. And Powell and Harrison are going to opt into the last year of their deal because, of course, they are. And so that'll be your money. But the Mavericks are projected to have between 70 and 86 million are the numbers I keep hearing. Depending. $1 million in cap space. That's a lot of money. So there's a lot they can do with that. It's hard to imagine many teams with more money than that. There could be some, but I would argue the Mavericks are in a unique.
Lakers might.
Lakers,
because they signed a bunch of 1-year deals. Yeah,
but they also have LeBron with 154 million total is his contract. And it was like a 4-year, 154 million, something like that.
So how much is he taking up?
I don't know, but he's taking up. I mean, he's more than 30, I think. But you could look at my video when I broke the news because I had the details then on it.
There you go.
But yes, because I was that on top of it. But
shameless plug. That's damn near 40 a year.
Yeah. So yeah, big money for that. I mean, they could have more space, and that would be one of the few teams that would be able to say that they have the same, that they would have a better situation than Dallas coming in. That's what I'm trying to say is like, even if teams have more money than Dallas, unless it's like the Lakers who might have more or the same, other than them, there's not many other people who can say they have the space plus a good situation. Yeah. And the reason I'm calling the Mavs a good situation now is because of Dennis, because of Luka. And, you know, if they do hang on to DeAndre, if he has a good year and then they hold on to him for a little while longer, that's another solid piece there as well. Yep. So things like that. It gives you reason to be optimistic about the Mavericks' future. And it's refreshing to be that way again because I felt lost for 3 years. I was just off in the wilderness.
I was enjoying myself. I don't care about
you. Off in the wilderness, just trying to find my way. I
was enjoying myself. I was
cursing that I never went to Cub Scouts or anything to be able to have survival skills.
Listen, Barnes and DJ are free agents next year. Yeah, like we said,
Hulk Rage Cowboy, what's up, man?
Barnes is gonna most likely opt into his final year.
Yeah, he will, because he's not getting that much money per season again.
No, I don't think Cubes will sign Barnes to another max deal. So he's gonna have to opt in.
Van Ryswijk, to answer your question, West Barnes and I almost said Dennis, but DeAndre Jordan are indeed all free agents. That's right, Van Ryswijk.
Just want to say
I'm trying to say it right and then watch him be like, you're saying it wrong again. Damn it! But yes, Dennis, that's correct. They're all that. So they probably re-signed Barnes and DeAndre and still have enough money left. DeAndre, yeah, if DeAndre has a good year for him, they could definitely do it. You don't want Snake.
Oh, you're talking about you talking about Durant coming to Dallas?
No way.
I don't think
no chance.
I don't think he likes Cuban. So
if he goes anywhere, it will be not Oklahoma City because he is not welcome. I was on that committee that voted for that.
That made up committee.
Yeah.
Oh, great job. What up, fellas?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're catching us at the very end, Hulk Rage. We've been going for about an hour and a half already. Yeah. Say it perfectly. Yes! That's what's up. All that practice.
Yep. What else? Do you think Maxi Kleber is a good backup option?
Yeah. For a backup, I like him fine.
4 or 5?
4.
4 or 5. Is he a good Is he a good number 2 guy?
Until we can do more with Spalding, sure.
Okay, whatever. I'll take that answer. I'm thinking. I mean, he needs to be better at shooting. The reason why you're on this team is to spread the floor, and I don't think he shot that well.
Mighty Eye
last year,
shouting out Bay Area. Are you saying you're listening from the Bay Area? In which case, that's what's up, buddy. Coast to coast. And if you're saying Bay Area is in Durant is your boy, then we are not okay. I'm just playing. Even if that's the case, we disagree there a little bit. But I'm just the jilted lover in this case. Why I just put a weird image out there?
Yeah. Oh,
it's too early to drink.
So our team is going to look much different next season.
Yes, our team will look very different next season, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think there's a lot we can do with it, and as long as the core pieces develop in the way we need them to and show out like we need them to, then suddenly you'll be better this year no matter what.
Yep.
But you can take suddenly like 2 steps forward instead of 1, depending on what you can do in free agency after these guys show out. So
I'm in agreement.
Yep. Roscoe, I'd lowball the shit out of DeAndre unless he has a ridiculously good year. Yeah, the thing is, with him anyway, you're going to have to keep in mind he's 30 now. So he'll be 31 next year. You're not going to lock him in for a multi-year deal. I mean, even 3-year deal, I'm like, ugh, you're betting on 34-year-old DeAndre Jordan? Yes, I'm listening from the Bay Area, Mavs fan. That's what's up, Mighty Eye.
Mighty Eye.
Well, that is what's up. You have found the right channel if you're a new sub, and if you've been here a while, I hadn't seen you before, but what's up, buddy? Welcome to the party. That's probably pretty accurate. But all the same, much respect.
I'm picturing that in my head.
You are the most dedicated among us. Starting bigs, Barnes, and DeAndre Jordan. You were just tickled to death.
I'm like picturing like freaking people in the picture like, is he wearing a Mavs shirt?
Yeah.
Just like as a fan. Hey man, stay strong, bro.
Stay strong. We'll be relevant again one day.
I remember I wore a Mavs shirt to whatever. I was going on a cruise, and of course we had to report it in Miami.
Yeah,
South Beach to be specific. And I wore my Mavs shirt this summer after they won this summer they won the championship. It was fun. So
that would be fun.
It was very like people were like about to kill me. It was actually really fun.
Okay, let's see.
Starting bigs.
We kept the guys here for a while today. Says Kent. Yeah, I know. We say 5 questions, and then you just keep firing them off, and we don't pay attention to our accounts.
Literally, you guys, when we said 5 questions left, and like the whole chat just like beep, 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 we're like, F it.
You know, to be honest, that's also sometimes a tactic I use to get it more active.
Oh, what? You didn't have to tell them.
It's fun because they don't know if I'm saying this to protect my own fragile ego or if it really is what they think.
That's funny though. Starting bigs, Barnes.
Do you cover Mav games like during the year, like certain days, once a week? Yes. So
tell me our plans.
We're going to be doing a lot more with the coverage for the Mavs this year. Last year we weren't set up for the website and channel to do it, but what we're going to do, and this actually works pretty well into the wrap up here as well. What we're going to do is I'm going to set up watch parties throughout the season. Like we'll still do once a week. We'll still do this show once a week, and maybe a podcast during the week as well.
Will it be on Sundays during the cap?
Well, I mean, we might see, but we're gonna have to pick a day regardless. So. We're going to pick a day. We're going to do watch parties as well. And for that, we're going to pick a venue somewhere in the Dallas area. Probably something like Plano.
Probably Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know. Probably like Plano. And we're going to set up at whether it's a sports bar or a restaurant. And we're going to have a watch party, which means we'll be doing a pregame live stream remote out there. You guys can come out and hang out with us, have drinks with us, whatever, talk. And we'll be doing a preview pregame, which case you guys can come on, talk a little bit with us if you want to come on the stream for a bit. It'll be live streamed, kind of like we are right now, just minus the green screen. What does that text say? Text now. I can't tell what it says. Some kind of pop-up.
Text now. Oh.
Text now. I don't know. Maybe it was someone subbing and I just have it layered wrong. Confusing, but we'll figure it out. But yes, we'll be doing these, and we'll be talking for the Mavericks, previewing the game, and we're going to do a live stream during the game like this as well, where basically we are going to be commentating on the game, interacting with you guys in the comments. So anytime you see a play where you just like lose your mind, you can turn around 20 seconds later and we'll be losing our mind as well. And
just so you can get our reactions.
Yeah, and our analysis and all of that.
See,
and the
Dennis
idea is
dunking on somebody.
Yep.
Dennis dunking on Kevin Durant.
Dennis Durkin on someone. Dennis Durkin on someone is what I want to see.
Turn around, fade away.
Yeah, the one-legged fadeaway dunk. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the whole idea of this is we're going to interact with you guys. We're going to try and be as interactive of a Mavs show as we can.
Yep.
And
someone has to do it.
Yep, that's the idea. We're going to do all this. We're going to be committed to doing as much with you guys as we can, and from there, we'll see, man. We have high expectations of what we're trying to do with the site and channel. Something else throw out there for you guys if you're interested. I just recently set up a P.O. box basically for the channel as well, the site, channel, company, whatever. If you guys ever want to like send something or whatever, go for it that way.
No bombs though.
Yeah, no, please none of that. Or drugs, that goes badly as well.
You can send us drugs.
He's like, it's in your name. I don't care. But yeah, and if you guys want as well, you can support us on Patreon. So I've been I just realized I got that right over your face.
What?
The P.O. box thing. Let me move that.
Get it off my face.
Here. No, I don't want to cover them though. Throw it up here in the corner for now.
Are you covering DSJ?
He's been up there the whole time.
Okay.
And he's still right there in the corner. He's fine.
Look at that follow through though.
Yeah. So basically the idea is we're going to do all of this. If you guys want to support us on Patreon, I've been overhauling that as well. You will get discounts for Dallas Prospect merch, like t-shirts and things like that. Mm-hmm. We're also going to be setting up exclusive content to Patreon, early access, things like that as well. And we're trying to do a lot more. I'm trying to work on some more interview stuff as well with the Mavs. I'm trying to get my credentials back to be back in the locker room like I was a couple of years ago. And I'm going to see if I can get us some interviews and exclusive content like that.
Can I be back there too?
I'm working on that. I got to get one credential for us first, and then I can try and get the other. So that's typically how that goes. But
if I would ever go back in that locker room, things would not be the same.
If you are new to the channel, new to finding us now, you have come to the right place because we are going places. It seems like we are
48-inch vertical.
That's what's up. But anyway, so stay tuned, guys. We got a lot of great stuff coming. That is our time for today. Appreciate you guys for listening.
Enjoy your Labor Day. Enjoy your days off.
Yep. I've been DDP.
And I'm Enyi Duka. Catch us on Twitter. What's our...
At Dallas Prospect and...
At Enyi Duka _DP. Hit me up on there. I will follow back because I don't have an ego like that. I don't view myself as a celebrity or anything like that. And if any of you guys play basketball or something, like pick up basketball, I'm looking for people to play with. I need some friends. So if anyone wants to hit me up on Twitter and let me know that you're playing some pickup basketball, I'm pretty good. So I like to play with you guys.
There you go.
There.
But anywho, until next time, guys. Keep it real, and remember, every legend was once a prospect.
Can I jump in on that too?
Okay, you want to? Okay,
no.
Let's rewind it back. Rewind it back.
So you say, and remember, every legend. And I say, was once a prospect.
We can do that, but the one time I tried to let you do it,
I messed it up.
You botched it.
Okay,
you said remember. You said remember. Every prospect was once a. Wait, no.
So started.
Okay. Right. Last roll on this because now we're just lingering.
All
right. Yes, eye contact with the camera is good.
Yep.
And remember, every legend
was once a prospect.
Salute. Now let me find the actual thing to turn off the stream. I clicked away.